Hello everyone, this is San and welcome to another episode of Deep Analysis, in which I analyze a particular card with the context of the limited format for the set where it originates. I will go through the card's general power, its pick order, and the deck it belongs in. I'll also cover some niche interactions with other cards from the set if there's any. This time we are looking at this blue uncommon, Sidequest card collection. It's a 3 and a blue for an enchantment with, when this enchantment enters, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. At the beginning of your end step, if 8 or more cards are in your graveyard, transform this enchantment. After it transforms, it becomes Magic card, a 4/4 artifact vehicle with flying and crew 1. When this card was previewed, a decent amount of people didn't think this is good in limited, myself included. On paper, it looks like a 4 mana for draw 3 and discard 2 with no immediate board impact. Then, you need to spend more effort on putting cards into the graveyard so that you can get a 4/4 flyer that needs another creature to crew it. However, I was wrong, and this card is a super overperformer. The 8 cards in graveyard condition can be easily achieved if you have self-milled effects like Shinra Reinforcement, Resentful Revelation, and Tongue Greeter, and those are also top commons in their respective colors. After you flip the card collection into a magic card, Shinra Reinforcement and Tongue Greeter also help you to crew it. 2 birds in 1 stones, am I right? Even without these self-milling effects, by naturally using instant and sorceries to counter your opponent's spells and remove their threats on the board, you'll eventually hit 8 cards in graveyard. Several effects helps a lot here too. Generally, this card just plays so well into blue decks controlling gameplay. Blue control decks need card advantage and card selection, which this card provides, and playing control magic with the aforementioned cards help fuel their requirements to transform, which make it a legit flying threat in the late game. Rich creatures being scarce in Final Fantasy Limited also make the backside a lot better. Here, I've said enough for Sidequest card collection, so let's give it a grade. Sidequest card collection gets a B grade. It plays so well in most blue decks with its solid card selection and inevitably becomes a flying threat the opponent has to respect. The weakness of this card is that it doesn't provide immediate board impact when you cast it on turn 4 and likely not having 8 cards in the graveyard right away, so it probably won't help you too much when you are getting beaten down by aggressive creatures and need some help stabilizing. Also, this card doesn't play well in some white-blue decks, and I'll elaborate this point further in a later section. On raw power level, this card deserves a B+, but it gets a B grade instead because of these weaknesses. Next, let's talk about drafting. Sidequest card collection is a premium uncommon that is only second to Swallowed by Leviathan in its own color, so it's a very solid early pick option. Personally, I would take this card over any common in early picks just because of its sheer power of card advantage, card selection, plus lagging threats combined into one card. It is also good in multiples because they can help each other fill the graveyard to flip off them. Therefore, take second or even third copy of card selection very highly after the first one. If you're playing blue for sure and you already have card collection, you'll want to look out for self-milling effects like Shinra Reinforcement, Resentful Revelation, and Tongue Greeter. They also happen to be the top commons of their color, so you can move into those colors if you see them late. Even mediocre card selection effects like Laughing Mad becomes a lot better with card collection, so definitely look out for those as well. After talking about drafting, let's find out what deck suits Sidequest card collection the best. It is the best in blue-black because blue-black decks have the easiest time getting 8 cards into the graveyard. It is also great in blue-red and blue-green because blue-red tend to play control and put all the instants and sorcery in the graveyard naturally, and green also has self-milling to help out card collection. Sadly, card collection is not great in blue-white because it usually contradicts a blue-white deck's game plan. Blue-white tend to play a lot of artifacts, especially equipment, and those artifacts are gonna have a hard time leaving the battlefield. This doesn't mean card collection is unplayable in blue-white, but if you already have a lot of non-creature artifacts, especially equipment, card collection is probably not good for your deck. Last but not least, Let's talk about some interactions involving this card. Card Collection is a 4-mana non-creature spell, so it triggers all the 4+ mana non-creature spell payoffs, making it a natural fit into blue-red non-creature spell decks. Also, if you need more card draw in the late game and have a flipped card collection aka magic card on board, you can consider bouncing your own magic card and play it again as card collection to have a draw 3 discard 2 effects. It also flips back into magic card at the end step and it's untapped, which is pretty neat. That's it for this episode of Deep Analysis. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.